So the last time that I interviewed you, like we just said, was 5 months ago. You had just been announced the 8th president of Robert Morris. You've now been here almost a full month. How's that month been going for you?
You tell me.
I think all of the things that you've already done in this month have been amazing, but how have you felt?
You're very nice to say that. I'm being a smart aleck, Delaney. I apologize. I'll behave from now on. It's been great. And it's been great because of the people. It hasn't been great because of the weather, I promise you that. People have been very, very kind. I was warned that Pittsburghers are nice people, that have a hearty sense of humor, that this is a gregarious, wonderful, I don't want to say big shoulders, because that's Philadelphia's model, but this is a neat place, a neat space, and a neat time to be here. So I've had a blast, and I hope that people have responded and reacted to me coming to town as I think they have. It's been very positive.
What are your goals so far? Kind of, gates have just opened. What are your goals for RMU?
Well, there's a great quote by this American writer named James Baldwin. He says, "Let America be what America must be." So let RMU be what RMU must be, you know. So let us continue to provide great opportunity for students that are just delighted to have the opportunity to come to a place like RMU. Let us be a place marked by excellence with our top performing students, our athletes, our alumni, etc. I think that's very, very important. Let us be a bit of an all of the above university, one that has a place and a space for students that are full-time, traditional students. Maybe they're in Greek life, or they're, again, playing a sport. They're taking a major that takes up all their time, which is awesome. Or also for other students, for our online students, our master's degrees, our very, very compelling doctoral programs. Let us be a place that has, that provides opportunities for all those sorts of folks. And so those are my main goals for the school going forward. It is early yet, and I have a lot of listening to do. I say one of the first things I want to do is get a PhD in RMU. So I'm doing just as much listening as I am talking as well.
So you want to let RMU be what RMU is, and you said in emails, and we've heard you say it before, you want to tell RMU's story. Mm-hmm. How are you going to tell RMU's story?
Well, it starts internally. We should never forget the most important audience is the internal audience. It is the students, it's the faculty, it's the staff, it's our alumni. You know, 52,000 alumni, that's a pretty big MSA right there, to use a technical term. Our wonderful staff and faculty, our parents. So, you know, whether it be interviews like this, my social media, my blog, the Facebook page, Twitter, the web page, etc. I think that's very, very important. I've also been blessed with a great marketing team to be able to get my word out through various outlets. I've been on the radio, I've been on television, I've been in local newspaper. I think I have a piece coming out in the New York Times pretty soon, online edition. So, you know, there's lots of ways to get the message out, but I just never want the RMU internal community, right? We have constituents and we have a community. I never want the community to ever forget that they're number one. You're number one, you're number one. You're number one. So I want to make sure that I'm doing these things to make sure that I'm listening and also providing a sense of where I think this place needs to go.
On your first day here, you signed the Moving the Needle Pledge. Women, we're moving forward in the 21st century. How are you going to relate that to RMU? How are you going to bring it here?
Well, the good news is it started before I got here. President Delaney and the leadership of this institution, the alumni, have done a great job of promoting and empowering women. I want to be like the free safety on Coach Banashek's team. Everybody makes a tackle, I just jump on top and take all the credit. No, I'm just kidding. But I want to build upon what's happening before. So we have the Women's Leadership Program. That predates me. I've actually signed up to be a mentor. So if people next year are looking for a mentor, I'm looking forward to working with the young lady.
Because I'm in that program. I wish I could have gotten you as my mentor.
We'll stay in touch. We'll stay in touch, and I can be an informal mentor, if not a formal mentor going forward. So we have that going. Over at our nonprofit center, our Bear Center for Nonprofit Leadership, Peggy Uten has done a great job looking at that 74% number. 74 women in nonprofit are making 74 cents on the dollar versus versus men. I think I had that right. I'm 99% sure I had that right. But there's inequity there that our university, through the Bear Center for Nonprofit, has already looked into. I'm pretty good at this megaphone thing, pretty good at this microphone and podium thing about, you know, bringing eyes to an issue. And as I blog and as I speak publicly, as my actions, I want to continue to encourage women and know that this place is going to be a place noted for empowerment. I'd also say in my inauguration, my theme, one of my major themes, is going to be empowering women to lead in the 21st century. So the inauguration speaker is going to be General Michelle Johnson, the first woman to lead the United States Air Force Academy. And she was my supervisor about 100 years ago when I was a cadet. She was a captain, and she's risen through the ranks from being the first woman to be wing commander as a cadet of the Air Force Academy, all the way to being the first woman to run Air Force. Lastly, we're going to have a panel that night of the inauguration, October 7th of 2016, and we're going to have General Johnson, Suzanne Nora Johnson, who's a former vice chairman of Goldman Sachs, one of the leading leaders, one of the leading women in investment on Wall Street, on the board of Visa, AIG, the Red Cross, University of Southern California, as well as Donna Agis, who's a technologist. She went to CMU, to Carnegie Mellon. She missed RMU. I guess she must have missed the exit, but she went to CMU rather than RMU. We're going to give her a second chance. And Donna is not only a holder of like 9 patents. She worked at Apple. She also was a very successful entrepreneur and philanthropist. And I'll be doing a panel discussion with them on that early afternoon or early evening on October 7th, talking about empowering women for the 21st century and also highlighting our great success. One more lastly, as Carrie Coghill is the first woman to serve as the vice chair of our board. And I'm very proud that the board made a decision to elect her to that position. And so my boss, in addition to my wife, is Carrie Coghill. I'm very proud to serve under her very able leadership. And she's an alum too.
RMU is moving forward. There's lots of next steps. You've mentioned in emails that the event center is one of the next steps for RMU. Do you think that's the right next step for RMU?
I do, because as we're thinking about the event center now, we're thinking about more of a comprehensive mini MINI master plan. Our last master plan was completed in 2007, and kudos to the entire community, the leadership of the institution, including the board, to make many of those dreams become reality. All you have to do is look around the campus to see that a lot of the master plan has been accomplished. An event center, a place for students also to be able to gather and do intramurals and things of that nature is something that's moved into this event center 2.0 idea. In addition, I've been talking with the Dean of the School of Engineering, Math and Science, as well as our Provost, Provost Jamison, to think about what we need to do with SIMS as well. So I like to think of it as a continuum. You know, it's the academic program. All the other schools have had a consolidation, gotten their facelift or new buildings or what have you. SIMS is kind of next. The event center, which, you know, is great for our excellent D1 athletes, and then this other space for, you know, the kind of the student at large, kind of all tied into one. There'll also be some space for our student athletes, our sort of our elite student athletes, our D1 athletes as well. So I think about all those together. So yes, it's the event center, but it's the entire community moving forward with bits and pieces that make sense for all the constituencies.
So everything just coming together and all moving forward together.
Yes, very much so, Delaney, and it'll be sequenced, you know, so which one's going to come first? Hey, we got to be somewhat opportunistic. If the funding for the event center per se comes through first, realize that me as the president, the senior leadership of the institution, and the board are thinking holistically, but we got to kind of follow the money to make sure we get the places done in a fiscally responsible manner.
A college campus, students are always having different concerns. They're posting up on social media, everything like that. A lot of students were concerned about residence halls. Robert Morris is getting bigger every single day. It seems like each incoming class is getting more students. How do you plan to tackle the battle of not having enough beds on campus?
Yes, so this is a high-class problem. This is a popular place. One reason I came here is that it's a place with momentum. Robert Morris is an institution with a great deal of momentum. And I'm not surprised that students want to come here. I was having lunch with some students about 2 weeks ago over in Romo's. And by the way, thank you for naming your cafe after the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, my team. I really appreciate that. But anyway, I was talking to the individual and they were saying, golly, it's just, there's so many people. It's great. It's really kind of, you know, and bursting at the seams in a positive way. Before I got here, some of the senior leadership in the cabinet did a really, I think, outstanding job of a study that lays out a plan, kind of a modular plan to build more housing. We have that in place. It takes some resources to make sure it's funded properly, but rest assured, I've seen it, I think it's the right thing to do. The board's seen it, and they think it's the right thing to do. It's a matter of just getting the money right. So please bear with us as we do this. We don't want to, you know, as we say in the ski world, you know, you don't want to get out over your skis too far to where you do something that's fiscally irresponsible But I'm very aware of it. The board is, the leadership is, and we have a plan that's going to roll out over time. And it'll be part of that mini master plan that I mentioned a moment ago as well.
A lot of students are also concerned about the food on campus, dining services. It seems as years have progressed, students have said the food hasn't been what it used to be. Do you have any plan for that?
I don't have a specific plan for dining. I'm always listening. I'm very much trying to be in tune with what students are concerned about. I've got a good relationship with our food services people, and as those concerns are brought forward, I will communicate those, as will John Michaelenko, et cetera. I will say that someone who has led another institution, who spends a lot of time with presidents of other colleges and universities, it happens a lot, unfortunately. Students say that, the challenge would be if you were to go to your favorite restaurant and eat there every day for 30 days for several meals a day, then it might not be your favorite restaurant. So we recognize that. The professionals in food services do a fine job, recognize that. But hey, the biggest room in the house is a room for improvement, and we'll continue to monitor that.
Students always seem to be complaining. I see it all the time, whether it's Snapchat, Yik Yak, anything, ResNet, and like the IT department. How would you focus on maybe trying to improve the ResNet on this campus?
Again, with ResNet, before I got here, thanks to President Delamo's leadership and I think a very able senior cabinet, that issue has been identified by the folks in IT in the business office. Ellen, who leads that department, has looked at the feedback and taken very, very clear steps to make it better. And what we're hearing from the students is that it is getting better. It's a little bit of a lag. I mean, usually you're going to hear, and I learned this in my previous institution because we had an issue around broadband. Students expressed concern, and they were right. And the administration addressed it, and I think that's what's happening here. But you don't necessarily hear when that's been accomplished. So I think we're making the right steps. I've seen the plan. I've asked to see the steps we're taking, and I feel comfortable. But I do think that there's maybe a little bit of a lag between those concerns being articulated late last year and some of the steps that have been taken now to address them. But we'll continue to get better.
Is there anything that you want to say moving forward as you just finished your next month, you have hundreds of more months to go? What do you have to say to the student body?
Well, I'm delighted to be here. And I am an imperfect person, but I am motivated to make this place the best place it can possibly be. So stay in touch with me on social media. Stay in touch with me when I'm walking through the halls, and don't be shy, and go Colonials.
Love it. Before we go, a lot of students have asked me to ask you some fun questions. So what is your favorite sandwich at Romo's? Do you have one yet?
Oh, I've gone more to the Wheatley Cafe than Romo's, and I'm partial to their grilled cheese sandwich over there on wheat because I got to be semi-healthy.
Of course,
So.
all the wheat. I know, I'm a big fan of Wheatley. Wheatley has good food.
It does.
Your favorite spot on campus? Anywhere on campus, your favorite spot?
That's a tough one. We might be sitting in it. So
It's a nice
this
room.
is the president's conference room. Maybe the cameras can pan at some point and give you footage of this. But you look out, and no matter what the weather's like, snowy or clear, sunshine, whatever, it's just a beautiful view. And I'm bringing in some professors from Harvard Business School to work with the senior cabinet later this summer. And I'm committed to doing it in this room because the view is just so beautiful.
Is a beautiful room.
Yeah.
We were just talking about it beforehand. My favorite spot on campus is, you'll have to check it out. Right by Sewell, there's the steps that go all the way down to the front of Nicholson. In the early morning, I had a 7:45 up there. Stand up there and watch the sunrise. It's the prettiest thing. You see Rogel Family Chapel, you see Wheatley, everything. It's the prettiest spot.
That sounds lovely.
You have to check it out.
Is that in the video? There's that birthday video for me where people are telling me what I should do. And I know I need to go to the President's Lounge up in Joe Walton at one point. I think there was a Sunset Connection, but I need to put that on my list.
Add it to your list,
Yeah,
definitely.
I don't want to say bucket list. That sounds a little bit too final, but I'll put it on my list of things to do. So sounds wonderful.
What sport do you think that you will attend the most games?
Well, that's a tough one. I played football, so I'm a little. I'd say I'm biased. I played football, but they probably play the fewest amount of games compared to the other teams. So I think maybe, I don't know, basketball, volleyball, hockey have the edge simply because they have more games on the calendar. So it might just be a question of, and obviously soccer as well. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to spread the love equally.
Okay, I like it.
To the teams out there, and I'm gonna come out and catch an intramural game or two as well, and definitely some rugby. I know the rugby team.
Oh yeah, our rugby team is very good here.
Yes.
Definitely have to check it out. I'm always too scared to watch rugby. It freaks me out. I feel like so intense.
That's great.
Are you more of a Moe's or Chipotle person?
Whoa.
It's a hard question.
It's a great question. Probably Chipotle. We had a Moe's in the town I was in before. They're both very good, but I think my kids are probably more Chipotle, and I just kind of do what they tell me to do, I guess.
Your biggest celebrity crush? The person that I got asked to ask you this one, I was like, I didn't even think of that one.
Sure. Denzel Washington.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
Remember the Titans, such a good movie.
Yeah, great
That's always
movie.
what I think about with him.
Actually, my son went to school right down the street from that school.
Oh, really?
T.C. Williams. So every time I drive by there, I think about, ooh, Denzel was the coach there. Yeah, I think he kind of epitomizes such class and such a wonderful edge. I was asked in Foundations, I think which is our alumni magazine. My favorite movie is called Glory, and Denzel Washington won Best Supporting Actor. It's about an all-black Civil War unit that fought on the side of the Union. At 1.5 of Frederick Douglass's sons were in that unit, but Denzel's in it. He does a great job. He's probably my favorite actor, and so yeah, there you go, Denzel.
Every time that I've seen you on campus or interviewed you, you have such great style. Where's your favorite place to shop? I love the jacket. I love it a lot.
There is a store called, somebody asked me this recently, called Suit Supply. I don't think they're in Pittsburgh. They're in D.C., they're in New York, they're in Dallas. They're also online, suitsupply.com. And I get a lot of stuff there, but I love Suit Supply, Brooks Brothers, Neiman Marcus. Yeah, I should stop because I'm doing these endorsements and nobody's paying me, so I should stop there. But I like to wear it well.
All right, great. Well, that's all I have for you. Thank
you
you so
very much. Appreciate it.
very much.